The U.S. is sending an additional 2,500 Marines and an amphibious assault ship to the Middle East, and military leaders provided an update on the war hours after we learned 6 soldiers died after a refueling aircraft crashed. Meanwhile, the president says Iran's new supreme leader is injured, likely disfigured. Fox 4's Shaun Rabb in studio with the story. Shaun?
Yeah, and that information offered without supporting proof today. Secretary Hegseth and the chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff say the mission to destroy Iran's military and prevent them from rebuilding is happening as the U.S. and Israel chooses.
I'll start, as we often do here at the Department of War, with
Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth opened the briefing on Operation Enduring Freedom with, in his words, the bottom line up front.
that the United States is decimating the radical Iranian regime's military in a way the world has never seen before.
He said Iran used to have a modern, capable military that is now combat ineffective.
Iran has no air defenses. Iran has no air force. Iran has no navy. Their missiles, their missile launchers and drones being destroyed or shot out of the sky.
Iran missile volume down 90%. One-way attack drones down 95%. The secretary said 15,000 targets have been hit by U.S. and Israeli fighter jets who have command of the skies over Iran.
Looking up, the IRGC and Iranian regime sees only 2 things on the side of aircraft: the stars and stripes and the Star of David. The evil regime's worst nightmare.
But Iran has had success shutting down the Strait of Hormuz, warning attacks against any vessel in the vital waterway to much of the world's oil.
And as the world is seeing, they are exercising sheer desperation in the Straits of Hormuz. Something we're dealing with, we have been dealing with it, and don't need to worry about it.
General Dan Kane, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, said today will be the heaviest day of missiles and bombs attacking Iran's ballistic missile and drone capabilities and its Navy in the battle to protect the Strait of Hormuz.
This means going after Iran's mine-laying capability and destroying their ability to attack commercial vessels.
Mixed with the triumphs of war, the tragedies. Thursday, 6 U.S. airmen killed when a refueling plane crashed in western Iraq. What went wrong, not yet made public.
The incident occurred over friendly territory in western Iraq while the crew was on a combat mission, and again was not the result, as CENTCOM has said, was not the result of hostile or friendly fire.
And like others losing their lives in war zones, will return home in a dignified transfer. And on a Fox News podcast, President Trump said the war will be over soon and the economy will bounce back. He was asked by Brian Kilmeade on that podcast when the war would be over. His reply, "When I feel it in my bones."